This might be controversial, but the Simagic P1000 pedals might be the best set of pedals on the market. And no, I'm not talking about the entire sim racing market. I'm really talking about that $750 and less market. We cannot argue that the Simucube active pedals are probably the best pedals on the market, but for a full set of them, it is $6,000, which is kind of crazy. Anyways, these sets of pedals have made a lot of noise since they launched on the market, and in this video, we're going to be going over pricing, upgrades, software, driving experience, and final conclusions. But before we do, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more videos just like this. So let's get into it. When it comes to pricing of the Simagic P1000s, there is a lot of variety because you could have a lot of variety with these pedals interchanging different parts. So let's just run down the list. First things first, the 2-pedal P1000 set comes in at $489 USD. The 3-pedal set comes in at $519 USD. The inverted pedal set comes in at $649 USD. The normal hydraulic 3-pedal set comes in at $669 USD. And then finally, the hydraulic 3-pedal inverted set comes in at $839 USD. So as you could tell, there are a lot of different options you could get with your P1000s. You can always interchange the parts, such as purchase the hydraulic assembly for $179 USD and our favorite addition, the P1000 haptic pedal reactor. These haptics give feedback directly through your feet, which is very unique because most things except the Simucube active pedals don't give any feedback through your feet. Within the Simagic software, you can adjust its frequencies and the force feedback from things such as ABS and tire slip. They're pretty slick, not gonna lie. The adjustability will seem infinite with these pedals, as yes, you can adjust the stiffness of the brake pedal. The elastomer technology within the P1000 brake pedal allows the users to adjust the brake pressure with no tools. Very nice. There are 4 different colors of these rubber elastomers, the black being the softest, the gray being a little stiffer, the blue being even stiffer, and the red being the stiffest. And you can get a multitude of these little Johnnies within a box, allowing you to have varying amounts of stiffness and progression of stiffness within the pedals. The only negative I've noticed with this pedal set is a sort of delay when releasing the brake. It gets a little lazy. Although it doesn't happen on every pedal set, and if it does, it is relatively minor and unnoticeable. However, it could still cause some annoyance when braking. When it comes to software for the P1000s, it uses Simagic's fantastic SimPro Manager 2, which is simple to use and understand once downloaded. So that about does it when it comes to the pricing, the hardware, the upgrades, and the software for the P1000s. Now, let's get into some driving feedback. But first, let's just take a listen to this beautiful Radical SR3 that we are driving. So first impressions with the P1000s, super solid. Right here I'm using my actual personal set, not the set you've seen previously in this video. So the clutch spring is going to be blue instead of red. However, right now we're just doing some circuit racing in the Radical SR3, so we're not going to be using any clutch. Now, big thing with this pedal set, if you are primarily racing like I am right here, your brake and your gas are going to feel pretty close together, especially if you drive with boots or shoes, or if your shoe size is over the size of a men's US 12. I only know this because Boundless Racing took their grassroots turnkey simulator demo to Caffeine and Octane here in Atlanta this past weekend. And one of the biggest complaints is that the pedals were too close together because we brought out a 3-pedal P1000 set instead of a 2-pedal one, and we're doing racing. So that's probably the biggest thing you're going to notice with this pedal set, is that the brake and the gas are pretty close together. Like my legs are pretty close here. I wear a size 10.5, so it gets a little bit uncomfortable. But when it comes to the pedals themselves, the throttle pedal is fantastic. This is just the stock throttle spring, and might I say, it is so good. You could squeeze the throttle well. You can have different points of throttle modulation. The stock throttle as it is perfect. Now the elastomers in the brake pedal are 3 grays and 5 blacks, because I actually do a lot of drifting on my personal rig, so I want a kind of strong street pad. But it's still great for circuit racing. Now I have tried some stiffer elastomers, and I might say they are also fantastic. Now, one thing I will say is, when you calibrate any sort of pedals of this caliber, you do want to push the brakes down to 100% and then let off to about 90, just to make sure you always hit 100%. And that goes with really any brake pedal. But when it comes to the racing aspect of the P1000s, they are super solid. I've had my P1000s for over 3 months, and I've had 0 issues and put tons of hours drifting, racing, pretty much everything on these pedals, and I have had absolutely 0 issues with them. So when it comes to racing, the P1000s are absolutely fantastic. The only thing I would change again is I would go to that 2-pedal configuration, and I would also put a stiffer elastomer, just because this street pad sort of feeling, especially for a car like this, it feels like I'm pushing down too quickly and I can lock up really easily. Next up, let's go into drifting and start chopping it up there. So when it comes to drifting, my goodness, if you have a pedal set that you want to buy that is less than $550, the standard P1000 3-pedal set should be your go-to. Let's go from right to left. Again, same thing as road racing. The throttle pedal is fantastic. And when it comes to drifting, just to let you know, the rebellious motorsport, right? When you are drifting, you want to have a throttle pedal that is somewhat sensitive, able to manipulate the throttle in a way where you can drive either 100% on throttle, 80%, 85, 87, 93, where you could be so precise with your throttle in order to maximize wheel speed to go as fast as possible. The P1000s allow you to do that. Next, let's talk about the brake pedal. Now, when it comes to drifting, braking isn't that big of a thing, because the main thing when it comes to braking and drifting is left foot braking. What this is when you push in the brake to stabilize the car. And again, because we have a relatively aggressive street pad sort of replication in this car, yes, it feels fantastic and is quite good. Now the clutch, I would recommend going with the red set. Now on my personal set, I have the blue in, and it is the lightest clutch spring. I'm not a hater on it, but I'm not a lover for it, right? It's not fantastic, but it's not terrible. Now, the red spring, the heaviest spring possible, feels fantastic. At first, it's going to feel a little too heavy for your taste more than likely, but as time goes on, it's able to wear in a little bit, and it feels so good. You're able to really feel that bite point. You're able to really feel it as a heavy clutch. In my opinion, should be your go-to for the P1000s when drifting. As a non-biased thing, right? I've tried many pedals, Feld, Fanatec pedals, which are both fantastic sets of pedals. When it comes to the quality, feel to money ratio, the P1000s for drifting outweighs all of them. When it comes to circuit racing, I can't say. I don't have as much experience. I would probably go more in the Feld route, but the P1000s are still fantastic. So my final conclusions on the Simagic P1000s is this is a fantastic pedal set. The the standard 3-pedal set for $519, you get multitudes of springs, multiple elastomers, a lot of variation with those pedals. In my opinion, these are the best pedal for money in that price range. Now, as you start to add different things such as the inverted kit and the hydraulic kit is great, but I would compare it to other competitors. such as some Conspit pedals as well as Husingfeld pedals, etc. And then the inverted kit goes all the way up to $839. In my opinion, that is a little too pricey for an inverted hydraulic set when you could just take the pedal face, flip it upside down on whatever rig you have. But with that said, nonetheless, the P1000 pedals are so fantastic. If you are in that $450 to $600 price range, this should be towards the top of the list. These are fantastic pedal sets and is a perfect beginner to intermediate pedal set. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this review. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.